Hello there. I want to say hello to all of our friends and supporters, not just in Maricopa County, but throughout the state of Arizona. As many of you are remembering, I did run, for those of you who don't know this, against Jeff Flake in 2012 for the U.S. Senate. So some of the comments you're going to be seeing that I'm going to put up later are going to be explained away by the fact that I've had experience at running against people that are, we'll call them the chosen ones in the Republican Party. So, but there's the part of my post is going to deal with that today, so you can all better understand what truly goes on sometimes, or most times, honestly, especially in Arizona politics. But today I want to talk to you about what's going on in the elections. And yes, my name is Clair Steenwyks, and as you can see behind me, I am running for the Maricopa County Recorder's Office here in Maricopa County. However, what I want to talk to you about is our elections in general and the mail-in ballot system in particular. We have got some serious problems. These problems seem to have been getting worse day by day since this year started. Actually, whether people remember this or not, this problem all became a real situation back in 2016, when then at that time our Arizona Secretary of State Reagan, along with Attorney General presently Branovich and our present Governor Ducey, agreed to a radical Democrat proposing that they be allowed to use the federal voter registration form, which, by the way, for those who don't know, requires no proof of citizenship, no birth certificate, no Social Security, nothing. Now, sure, it's limited to just being able to vote for the President, the U.S. Senate, and the U.S. House. However, I think more and more people are beginning to see, especially in this election cycle, just how important that could be. Because from what I understand so far, they have registered thousands of people on these forms in Arizona and elsewhere. And we are going to have a major problem. But these problems have been enhanced over the last 4 years since this thing was done. First in 2018, when we lost the Secretary of State seat to a Democrat, and we lost Superintendent of Public Instruction to a Democrat, and we also lost our U.S. Senate seat to a Democrat. As we all know, Sinema is now our elected state senator. I'm not happy about that. If any constitutional-minded person wouldn't be, at least I hope they wouldn't be, no matter what party or persuasion you may be from. We are citizens of the United States of America, not necessarily supposed to be loyal to just parties. As President George Washington once said, he considered parties the enemy of government. And when you look at what's going on now, or has been going on for a long, long time, but more relevant today because it's more obvious, these people go along with party lines. They don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about the U.S. Constitution. They don't care about our freedoms. All they care about is proof in D.C. right now. Even McConnell is saying it. He wants to get this stimulus package out of the way because we're in an election cycle. An election cycle shouldn't really matter to us. What needs to matter to us is our votes. Because let's look at realities here. Everybody talks about the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, and hardly ever talks about, I think it's the 15th, 25th, and 26th Amendment, dealing with our right to vote as U.S. citizens. I got news for all of you. If your right to vote is infringed upon or diminished in any way at all, then you have no control over the results of the elections. And whether we like it or not, those people that get back there pass all kinds of laws, a lot of which are unconstitutional, that affect our lives forever. And whoever wins these elections gets to appoint all kinds of things, raise our taxes, put on more regulations, put people on courts, federal courts and the Supreme Court, which have devastating effects on all of us. Through the EPA and other regulations the Democrats have put on, the Social Democrats for decades now, they've almost ruined our economy by shipping jobs overseas, making it so hard even to plant crops in this country. We were importing things we used to grow. So understand just how detrimental this can be. Well, now we've got another twist to it. But I'm not done with Arizona's twists. Here's another twist. Our Maricopa County recorder has done this voter thing, but in the last election cycle, he opened and closed polls however he wanted. He just kind of helter-skelter went about it, but it was always in Democrat districts. Thereby, he was hoping to sway the votes a little bit. Well, the county supervisors stopped him from doing that by taking over the polling places. But after doing that, they negotiated some kind of nonsense or worked with the county recorder's office department, I guess, on setting polls up. And now instead of having 500 polls in this election cycle, we're going to have 100. 100. That's an 80% decrease in our ability to get to the polls to vote. Oh yeah, they're extending the hours, but as I've said before, you want to go out in this heat and stand in lines? Because think about it, you're going to have maybe just as many people going to the polls, but you're going to have 400 fewer polls. So there may be some lines in some places, and I don't really see, like in the West Valley and any retirement communities and in the East Valley as well, seniors standing in lines for 3 or 4 hours at 105 to 115 degrees, or in this storm that we may be getting or not getting, as you never know with our weather people. So that was the one thing that they did. And the county recorders then what the county recorder Fontes did is he starts mailing out ballots, early mail-in ballots for the primary to any voter, whether they're signed up for them or not. This is a flagrant disregard for the law. And how did our supervisors respond? They did nothing. Now, I recommend what they could have done, and I'm posting that on my Facebook page and other places. And what they could have done to me is then notify all those voters that they can throw away those ballots. They won't be counted because they were mistakenly mailed out. But if they want to sign up for the early ballots to be mailed to them, send them some way to do it, phone numbers, emails, whatever, and let them sign up if they want them, because a lot of these people didn't want them. That's why they never signed up to begin with, because it's very easy to sign up for early ballots. You do it when you get a driver's license. You register when you get a driver's license. So all this is fairly easy stuff. They didn't. But the county supervisor didn't do anything either. This is all concerning mail-in ballots and registration. But guess what's happened now? Now we have the United States Postal Service who's in charge of mailing the ballots out. Okay, we all get them through the Postal Service. However, when we're mailing them back in, if that's the road you're going to take, they're not going to postmark them anymore. They're not postmarking these ballots because they're pre-marked. They've got a self-paid thing on them, so they say we don't have to mark them. We're not going to mark them. Well, here's the problem with that. You can't track them if you don't mark them. There's no tracking. So you don't know when they're mailed or where they're mailed from. They could be mailed from New York City. They could be mailed from, I don't know, LA. Because as we all know, people are not stupid anymore. They have got technology now that can, I believe, forge our ballots without a lot of problem. And with all these new people registering on the federal forms, they could be anywhere to get their ballots and not really care about it. So this is the dilemma we're all having now. Are we going to be able to trust the results of our primary here in Arizona and then later in the general? And remember, when you look at what's going on around the country, the chaos, the anarchy, the riots, the treasonous acts of elected officials who are supposed to protect, defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies, foreign and domestic. I'd say most of our domestic enemies are in office in this country, in D.C. and state capitals and cities like in New York, Illinois, L.A., Sacramento, etc. We got a lot of enemies. But they're all in powerful places. And Pelosi doesn't care if we fix these problems. The virus is another thing. They don't care if it gets fixed till after November. They do want to defund the police. Now, they've used a different word for it. They want to redirect funds. Well, let me see. If I'm giving you $100 to make a car payment and you to redirect only $20 of that to do something else with it, that means you're $20 short of keeping your car. It's real simple math. So I'm going to appeal to all of you voters because you're the ones that matter. You need to take this bull by the horns. And I'm going to put it on I've already got it set up to go, and when I'm done doing this, I'm going to put it out there. You need to contact your Republican state party, your county party, your state legislators, your mayors, your supervisors, your councilmen, every elected official you know, the national Republican headquarters, and let them know they need to get a hold of President Trump, who also hates the mail-in ballots, and make him aware because he's got a lot going on. And I'm not sure all the consultants he's got around him are all that great at times. Let him know what the United States Postal Service is doing. And you know why they're doing this? They're doing it as a budget matter. They're going to not be able to track our ballots because they want to save some funds for other things. You know, they're redirecting money. It's crazy. This whole election cycle is crazy. I've been paying attention to politics since I was 9 years old. I have never in my lifetime been through one this corrupt, and it's been corrupted by Socialist Democrats. And I'm inviting independents and moderate Democrats to join us in this, because this affects all of our rights. For those of you who really don't understand this, your First and Second Amendment are no good if you don't control the ballot box. The ballot box dictates or gives us who's in office. They give us our laws. They form the agencies, many of which or most of which are unconstitutional in Washington, from the EPA down. There's only four departments in Washington that are even allowed constitutionally: Treasury, Defense, Attorney General, and Department of State. That's it. So how the hell did this get so big? Because we let it. So you've got to take your vote seriously, and I mean seriously. We need to get this fixed. One of the reasons I'm running is to get this fixed. And remember also, the federal voter registration form isn't tracked either. So you'll never know if those people are citizens or illegals or what the hell they are or where they're voting from. This is a dangerous time we live in. We are on the precipice of falling over a cliff. This thing the U.S. Postal Service did, they put the last nail in the coffin. And this election cycle may just be the hole that's dug to bury us all. So please remember that. Yeah, I'm Clair Van Steenwyks, running for Maricopa County Recorder. And yes, I hope you do vote for me. But I also hope you contact these elected officials and tell them to get off their butts and get to work. We want our voting rights protected. Protected. They're guaranteed under the U.S. Constitution. My right to vote is a guaranteed right as a citizen. So I expect you to protect that right and make sure non-citizens don't vote. And dead people in Chicago or Arizona don't vote. That's what I expect of you. And you better get with it. But we are the ones who are the defenders of our freedom, not other people. Remember, we're allowed to replace our government. And it's beginning to look like we just might have to. So pay attention to how you vote and who you vote for. I hope you vote for me. My website is voteforvan.com. That's a number 4, as you can see it up on the sign. Voteforvan.com. Clair Van Steenwyks. I am running for Maricopa County Recorder. I want to thank you for your time. God bless you. And please contact those people to demand they fix this, and demand that they contact President Trump, and demand that they ask him, demand that they get a hold of the United States Postal Service, and demand all of our ballots are postmarked so we can track them. All right? God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you very much, and God bless America. Bye for now.